You're listening to Four Things to Know, a WCCO daily news podcast.
Today is Tuesday, May 26th. I'm Johnny Connor. Thanks for listening and watching Four Things to Know. Let's get to our top story today. A 55-year-old Minnesota woman has pleaded not guilty in the latest case of fraudulent Medicaid billing. Neither Shamso Haasan or her attorney would answer any questions as she left court today. One of her alleged schemes involved autism centers that Haasan was allegedly involved with. Prosecutors say she would offer kickbacks to families if they sent their kids to the centers. Esme Murphy was in court today. She has the update.
She was released to her own custody. She's facing charges of Medicaid fraud and also money laundering. She pleaded not guilty. This is just one of 15 indictments announced by Secretary of Health and Human Services Robert F. Kennedy Jr. last week nationwide, where these people are allegedly filing false claims for false care for false patients with the federal government, claiming that they were provided care, and they were not. And that happened in federal court this morning in Minneapolis.
That was Esme Murphy reporting, and we do have one other thing today on fraud to get to. Vice President JD Vance held a roundtable on anti-fraud initiatives with Federal Trade Commission Chair Andrew Ferguson and state attorneys general. Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison was not there, however. He told us his invitation only came on Friday, while Republican attorneys general got their invitations a week earlier. Ellison was reportedly part of a joint letter sent last night to JD Vance declining the invitation, saying it was provided with less than 1 business day's notice with no agenda. Your second thing to know today, tonight, a North Minneapolis street will be renamed in honor of an innocent grandmother killed by a stray bullet. 58-year-old Birdell Beeks was shot and killed on this day 10 years ago. She was driving her granddaughter to pick up a summer job application when gunfire broke out. Police called her an innocent bystander. Every year since, her family releases balloons at 6:03 p.m. That's the exact time they believe she was shot. Tonight, they'll also unveil the new street sign. The Minneapolis City Council unanimously approved to name the intersection of 21st and Penn Birdell Beeks Way. Family members say they hope it keeps her memory alive and reminds people of the lasting impact of gun violence. Loved ones say Beeks was the rock of their family, known for her cooking, and would help anyone. A man was found guilty for her murder back in 2018. He said he was trying to shoot at a rival gang member when he accidentally hit Beeks. Number 3 today, the Supreme Court is letting Brian Flores take his landmark racial discrimination lawsuit against the NFL to open court. Flores is the Minnesota Vikings defensive coordinator. The High Court rejected the league's appeal this morning, keeping alive Flores' claims that the NFL discriminated against black coaches in hiring. The years-long battle began in early 2022. That's when Flores initially sued the NFL and multiple teams after he was fired from his job as head coach of the Dolphins after he led the team to a 24-25 record over 3 years. The lawsuit alleges systemic racial discrimination. He was joined by 2 other coaches in the suit as well. Now, the NFL wanted the case to be handled in private arbitration by Commissioner Roger Goodell, but lower courts ruled that Flores could hear parts of his case publicly in federal court. We will, of course, keep you updated on how that case moves forward. Number 4 today, if you're going out hunting or fishing soon, we have new information from the DNR about the licenses you'll need. Here's WCCO's Barrett Leone.
The Minnesota DNR now has a date for when its new electronic licensing system will launch. June 9th. That's when you'll be able to buy your fishing license and hunting license online through a new modern system. You'll be able to buy a license 3 different ways, through a mobile app, online, or in person from a license agent. And then you can carry that license 3 different ways: in the app, in a PDF emailed to you, or with a piece of paper. Starting in early June, information from the old system will begin moving to the new system. So from 12 a.m. Tuesday, June 2nd through 11:59 p.m. Monday, June 8th, you can fish without a license. You still need to follow fishing season regulations and bag limits, though. In April, the commissioner of the DNR talked about some of the benefits of the new system.
Once you've downloaded the app, logged in, purchased your license, you don't need cell service to display your license. And that matters a lot in many parts of Minnesota where our customers spend their time. I, for one, have been keeping my paper license on the back of my phone underneath the phone cover for years. With this new system, I won't have to do that anymore because my license will be in the app and available anytime I need it or no matter where I am.
And there's a new linked accounts feature where you'll be able to link your spouses and kids' licenses as well. This is just the first phase beginning June 9th. Eventually, recreational vehicle and watercraft titling will also be added to the app.
Those are the 4 things to know today. Let's get a check-in now on our next weather forecast.
Hi, I'm next weather meteorologist Lisa Meadows. Very warm as we head into tonight. Low of 65. Tomorrow, close to 90. Forecast high of 89 with sunshine. Isolated afternoon storm chance thrown in there as well.
And now, here's more to know.
As you listen to this, right now, investigators are searching for a woman accused of tricking banks in 5 Minnesota cities into giving her other people's money. Take a listen to this. Investigators think the woman is from out of town and stole more than 30 grand after she visited banks in cities earlier this month. The Blue Earth County Sheriff says at each stop, she showed other people's personal info to withdraw money from home equity lines of credit. Investigators say the public helped them pinpoint a person of interest after they released photos of the suspect. But they are still looking for her. Here are the 5 cities the banks were hit. Hutchinson, which is obviously west of the Twin Cities, and then in southern Minnesota, St. Peter, Eagle Lake, Waldorf, Rochester. Now, if you have any information, contact Crime Stoppers. Another story we're following today, we've learned an ICE employee was arrested during a winter sex trafficking sting, and that employee has now pleaded guilty. He was one of 30 people arrested by Bloomington police in February as part of Operation Looking for Love in all the wrong places. Now, at the time, Bloomington Police Chief Booker Hodges called the arrest the most disturbing.
He is a backgrounder for ICE, Homeland Security, and federal agencies. So when you're getting your security clearance, this is one of the guys that does your backgrounds. Which is kind of scary. So we locked him up.
Brashad Johnson of St. Michael pleaded guilty to trying to hire a woman for sex. A Hennepin County judge sentenced Johnson to a year's probation and a $1,500 fine. Now to another story we're just learning about today. People are asking for your help in finding an arson suspect. A family's home in Cambridge is now unlivable, and the Iceni County Sheriff's Office says someone likely caused the damage on purpose. The fire was set about 3 weeks ago, but still no answers. Now, right now, there is a $5,000 reward if you can help investigators find the arsonist. Investigators also just released a photo today. Now, if you're watching us on YouTube, you are seeing the man they say is a possible witness to a fire or may just know more. The blaze happened near the Cambridge airport on May 6th. Now, again, if you do have any information, call the Iceni County Sheriff's Office. We talked about boating and hunting a little earlier. We have a warning from DNR officials. This as boating season gets underway here in Minnesota. They're sounding the alarm about stopping the spread of invasive species, especially zebra mussels. Yeah, you've probably heard about them in years past. The zebra mussels drive out native species, and they can also clog pipes, damage boats, or even hurt swimmers. The DNR says more than 370 of our lakes and rivers are already infested. We spoke with Matt Brodeen, a conservation officer at the DNR.
Zebra mussels are everywhere in Minnesota, and our main focus here is just to try to slow it down. Prevention is, it's very hard to do, but if we can slow down and talk to boaters so they're not spread to other lakes, that's kind of our primary focus.
Officials say zebra mussels are small and latch onto hard surfaces like boats, so definitely check those before you get in the water. Let's get to some sports headlines. The Twins are in Chicago for Game 2 against the White Sox. They did drop the first game of the 4-game series yesterday. First pitch tonight at 6:40 on the south side of Chicago. Let football season begin. It is the first day of OTAs for our Minnesota Vikings. Just 14 weeks to go, if you can believe it, till the Vikings host the Green Bay Packers in Week 1. That is crazy. Yeah, it'll be here before you know it. Training camp just around the corner. And here's a fun story. This week, 4 youth hockey players from a small town in Mongolia came to Minnesota to train and play tournament games. They were brought here by the popular man who owns Billy Sushi. He came across them practicing at an outdoor rink when he was visiting his home country, and now he's arranged coaching, playing time, and even when the Wild were still in the playoffs, the chance to see an NHL game. Ren Clayton caught up with Billy Tserenbat.
The Grand Casino Arena was like, whoo, railed up. And these kids were like, is this dream? Like that little kid, they're like, is it dream? Is it dream? Am I still dreaming? I'm like, no, you are not.
It's time to take a breath with your Daily Bright Spot.
We have a special honor for Minnesota, but actually more specifically, one of our state's parks. Gooseberry Falls was just voted best state park in the country. Despite melting snow and rain causing some flooding there this spring, it's still a top destination spot. I've been there myself hiking a long time ago. Absolutely loved it. USA Today readers say this park on the North Shore is #1 for hiking, biking, obviously that stunning scenery up there. Other state parks in the top 10 include Peninsula Park in Door County, Wisconsin, Big Bend Ranch in Texas, the Porcupine Mountains in Michigan, and Lost Dutchman in Arizona. Haven't been to any of those, but honestly, I could just stay in northern Minnesota all the time. It's so beautiful up there. I'm heading up to the Boundary Waters over Labor Day weekend. Can't wait for that. That's one of my favorite places. Well, I'm Johnny Connor. This has been 4 Things to Know. We are here with the news you need every weekday afternoon by 3 o'clock. Thanks so much for listening today, for checking us out on YouTube. We will, of course, be back with you tomorrow. Have a good Tuesday night, everybody.
Listen to 4 Things to Know, a WCCO daily news podcast, wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Maria Lizignoli, and this podcast comes to you from the WCCO Podcast Studio.
I'm Johnny Connor, and this is where you'll find the latest news of the day with us on 4 Things to Know.
I'm Mariel Mose, and I bring you the stories behind the female athletes redefining the game on women in sports.
I'm Adam Duxter. Join me for a deep dive into faith and what it means to Minnesotans around the state on Bigger Than Belief.
Stay in the know on the go with the WCCO Podcast Studio. Go to WCCO.com/podcasts.